All right, you guys, welcome back. Another episode of Open Mat Chronicles. Back at you guys once again. We got a great episode lined up for you guys today. As always, we got my man Schaefer in the house here. I'm 1865 Rod.
What's happening? What's happening? It's Schaefer in the house. So what we talking about today, Rod?
Man, it's not what we're talking about. Who we talking to?
Oh, shit.
So we got two special guests today, man. We got one guy I've been trying to run this guy down for a long time, man. I finally got him here. Anyway, super kind of like a local legend in the jiu-jitsu community. We got Manny Moreno in the house, man. Manny Moreno. Shout out to Manny. And we got my man Julio.
Hey, how's it going?
You didn't get as fancy of an intro, but it's talking. We got the checklist, man. We got Julio.
Yeah, the baby at the table. It's all right.
It's all good.
You know, what's funny? We almost had the other Julio because the other black belt Julio, I actually talked to him. I think he was injured. Talked to him about a month ago, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll get Manny on." I'm like, "Cool." And then, time goes by, and then I talk to you. You're like, "Yeah, I'll get Manny on." So we got Julio and Manny, or just a different version of Julio.
There you go.
The water version?
Yeah, you good, dude.
The fucking T-move. The fucking Wish T-move version.
Come with this.
But shit, Manny, tell us about yourself, though.
Hey guys, Manny Moreno. Started training jiu-jitsu here back in 2008. I've been doing this for 16 years pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah. It's something I never really expected to take off like it did, but I was fortunate that it did actually.
Okay. And you run a school?
Yes, I run the Roseville Academy for Aries BJJ.
Nice.
Good deal. Good deal.
How long has Aries been around? What is it like going on? Like,
Honestly, back at late 2015, I remember that's when the head started it. It broke off from another academy, and I remember the announcement was made.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. And Julio, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Which version are you?
The blue belt version.
Oh, good. Hey, man, you were solid.
version of Julio Castro. I started off at Infinite with these two guys. 3.5 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, 3.5 years ago, going on to 4.
All right.
But the first half of my jiu-jitsu journey was sitting on a bench with a busted rib.
I remember.
Yeah. So me and my wife both started together. I don't know what I was doing, but I ended up getting hurt. And I was sitting on the bench. But I would go in there every day, still trying to learn.
Absolutely.
And then probably about a year after, I moved over to Aries and met Manny. And I've been there since.
Cool.
Yeah.
I remember, man, when Julio started there. You know how sometimes it'd be like the wife would be training and the husband would be like sitting in the back just watching? I legitimately thought that was the case. I'm like, man, you don't train, do you? You don't train. Because he was injured. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I took I had a fractured collarbone rib, but I couldn't breathe. Like it was killing me, and I don't even remember how it happened, but it put me out for about what was supposed to be a month and a half. I came back, trained, and re-hurt it again to put me out for another month and a half. So.
See, that is everybody, dude. Everybody, we're dumb like that, man.
Yeah.
Like, jiu-jitsu guys are fucking dumb. We'll get
tough
out there,
it
we
out.
know we're hurt. We're like, all right, I'm going to sit out, I'm going to heal. And then the moment you're like, oh, shit, I don't feel the pain. I'm back on the mat.
That's
and
true.
Then crack.
Yeah.
It's back again.
Well, my
like it
logic
never
was
left.
if they don't get on top of me, they won't hurt me. Well,
Don't work.
first thing that happened was he got on top of me, he hurt me, and I went home and.
But the flip side is if you stay away for like 3 months healing, a lot of guys don't come back. So I always I'm hurt right now. I tore my freaking pec, dude, a little bit doing benching. And I still went in yesterday. I went in yesterday just not to train, just to drill a little bit. You do what you can, right? If you stay away, then it doesn't help you.
Absolutely.
At least surround yourself in that environment. You
Exactly.
Kind of see, and it gives you, okay, I can't wait. I'm going to do this when I come back,
Exactly.
Hell yeah, you stay
totally
involved. Yeah, like never just leave. Never just totally leave.
Yeah.
Because everybody's hurt, right? I'm fucked up too.
You're always
I
gonna
got
be
caught
hurt,
with a fucking burrata plata of all fucking things. I get a burrata plata, I hear crack, and I'm like, oh shit. But you're right. I came in yesterday and I fucking taught a class still.
Yeah, it's normal to be hurt. I think if that's the norm. It's rare if you're like 100% perfect.
Yeah, my foot's still swollen right from February.
So we, I'll give it to you guys from my point of view. We go to IBJJF and it's Sacramento, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a match and he's going up against a seasoned black belt, and yeah, he might have a photo, but
Yeah, put it in front of the camera. Listen.
you know the guy's known for those old school straight ankle locks, the one where you grab the gi. He's very proficient at it.
You know what that was? That was Benny. Remember Benny?
No, I don't remember.
No,
Benny
he
from
doesn't
Aries.
remember.
Oh, Manny knows Benny.
Oh, Manny might, but he doesn't know.
Benny?
Yeah.
Tigers? Yeah.
He would do that.
But,
He would do that.
Manny's going in there, he's rolling, he's doing his thing, it's going back and forth just like any black belt matches, and all of a sudden you see Manny, he's one knee up, the guy grabs a straight ankle, and I'm like, you good? He looks and he nods. All of a sudden this guy starts ripping it, and you can see the guy legitimately looks up at his coach and goes, not knowing that his shit was popping.
Yeah. But you know what? If you're trying to win, sometimes you just eat it.
Now, which?
So Manny gets up. He goes for a single.
Yeah.
Single.
I went to go for a single leg. Yeah.
Single. He stepped a little wrong. The guy ends up. He beat you by just advantages.
Oh man.
He comes back and he's like, "Oh, I think I fucking hurt my foot." We look at his foot. He has a baseball on his fucking ankle. Ooh. And I'm like, "You think?" The guy comes over here and he goes, some Brazilian can. He goes, "Your guy, he's fucking crazy." He goes, "I heard it pop, pop, pop," and he still kept going.
I didn't feel it.
Damn. He says he didn't feel it.
That's
that adrenaline.
That's respect, man.
Big time. Honestly, straight ankle lock too. I was like, I'll be okay. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, because normally you feel like
do they really hurt?
You know, they do hurt.
So that shit pops your ankle, yeah.
I've been through some injuries actually, like especially with the ankle locks. I mean, you guys know Ian, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's our boy.
I train Ian alone.
I think what's gonna happen with me and Ian one day, he's just gonna break my head. Like, it's gonna happen.
Well, I think Ian's the one. Didn't he grabbed the baseball bat and like snapped the bat? He snapped the bat to show the ankle lock.
Sorry.
No, he's no joke, dude. Ian's solid.
Hell yeah. Shit, Wes, Wes put me in a freaking walking boot before. So he called me in. We were going back and forth. He slid down for an ankle lock, and I'm like, "Nah, son." I'm like, "Not today, buddy." And next thing I know, I was like a month with a freaking one of those walking boot things,
looking like the mummy.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, that was stupid."
Dude, Ian's the one that got me into leg locks. To be honest, man, we were at Infinite. We were doing what was it called? A Shark Tank, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's like fighting, passing the guard. Ian just slides in, whack, does a single leg X takedown in like 2 seconds. I'm like, I like that. I'm gonna try that. Yeah. So
put that.
Shout out to Ian, man.
Put that in the repertoire.
Yeah, shout out to Ian. Dude.
Definitely, man. Ian actually mentioned that one time about one of the fights he went when he got his foot caught in the submission.
Right.
He didn't tap. He always told me that story about the treatment that he had to go through with his mother-in-law, massaging it out.
Oh man.
I can attest, man. That's not fun.
Yeah.
If your foot's in the corner, like she's like massaging, like he's like, "Hey, let's get you some medicine." I go to the house. I thought he was giving me like a jar or something.
Yeah.
And he brings me in the house. Sits down. The mother-in-law looks at my foot. I don't know what the heck he said to her, but he looks at me like, "Bro, you want to vape or you want to drink something like that?" Like, no, what are you talking about? And she starts massaging my foot, man, just to get all the lymphatic fluid out.
Yeah. Pain's crazy.
I'm holding his hand. I'm like tearing up. He's like, "Bro, just breathe, man." I was like, "This is horrible."
He wouldn't hold my hand. He's talking about Ian.
I was holding Ian's hand that day.
Now the leg lock you got, was it the one where it bends the foot back, or was it on the bone? Like
I was like folding it in.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty cool. Like, he turned it sideways, went
Yeah.
down with it. I'm like,
Damn near like a.
that's almost like a.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get him across the body, man. You turn it
See, and I'll tell you what's crazy, right? Because all respect due to the ladies, they're like, "Oh, you never been in labor. You never had a really hard ankle lock either." You know what I mean? I don't know, man. which is worse? I'm not sure, but good shit. I think we've all been ankle locked and hurt.
Sure he has, man.
Yeah.
Bonnie moment, guys.
All right, so where are we going to start with this? Because we've got some good competition questions.
Yes.
Because we got two competitors here, and we always go back and forth between like, is it more a sport? Or is it a martial art? It is some weird hybrid of the two. How do you handle your hobbyists versus your competitors? I mean, man, where do you want to jump
We
in?
got a lot. Yeah, let's start with the competition because we got a high level guy here right now, and let's not waste that, right? So, let's go with what do you think? What do you want to start with for competition?
If with competition, right? So when you got a bunch of people in your school who actually do compete, right? I mean, you got a good little handful of them.
Yeah, especially with the head instructors, they're usually the guys who started the organization were actually high-level competitors as well.
Exactly, they were all competition-based, and that's why they kind of zoomed in and focused in on areas, and we're like, we're going to make this a competition school. Yeah. And I tell people whenever they come visit, I'm like, yeah, without a doubt, this is where you go if you want to compete, right? Yeah. And when you guys are about to get ready for a competition or whatever. Do you change the entire structure of what's being taught at the school? Is everybody basically in competition mode, whether they're going to compete or not?
That's a good question.
How do you run it?
A lot of the times, too, is usually like the last week kind of focus on more just the basic stuff, things that are like, quick to do, talk about the rules, maybe like some carpool and stuff, just little things like that.
Yeah.
It's funny because sometimes when I tell them when I'm getting ready for something, I'm like, hey, y'all getting ready for everything. So I'm going to pick up the intensity. Hey, heater's coming on. We got to make weight. Let's get uncomfortable as much as you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have people yell at me like, "Hey, stay away from the AC." Like, no.
So when one suffers, all suffer basically.
No, I always after class, I acknowledge, hey guys, thank you guys for putting up with my craziness. I know, again, I'm not gonna go out there and like roll with everybody the way I would probably roll against this guy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Definitely. Hey, can I roll with you some of the lower belts? Hey, can I roll with you? Hey, I'm getting ready for something. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'll start doing from there.
Okay,
Full
that makes
transparency.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect
No, yeah,
sense.
because when they're ready to compete, they're gonna bring it to you.
Right,
You need to
and
know what you're signing up. I didn't sign up for this.
And that's the thing. You don't want to scare away.
Yeah.
What did Esther call them? The normies. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to scare away people who are like, hey, man, I'm just trying to get like a light workout today.
Yeah.
If it's a big like tournament too, it's kind of good to kind of cover the basics like for everybody because everybody can kind of benefit from that. A lot
For
of
sure.
specific stuff.
Yeah.
Specific drilling and all that.
Okay.
So let me ask this, Manny. Do you, if let's say Julio's getting ready for a competition, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to implement like a new move that's like, hey, I'm doing this one freaking arm drag to back take, or are you going to just do what you do based on what you've been doing? Do you know what I mean? Are you
keep it the same? Like, hey, what is he good at? I'm not gonna be like, hey, we're gonna be leg lockers this whole week.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna focus on what I know he's good at. You know what he does against me that I know it's effective. Because honestly, if I can't defend it, imagine someone who doesn't know his game.
There you go.
That's true.
So you focus on the strength. See, okay, and I've always been a proponent of that too, right? Everybody always goes, oh, drill your weaknesses, learn your weaknesses. I'm like, listen, man.
Not the way
I
you
say,
defend
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm like, you build your strengths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get your weaknesses covered enough to protect yourself, but your strengths, man. If you can, like. So I only drill to one side, and I mean I know this. This
That's
is
controversial,
something that
but I do
it's
something,
controversial. But
but we ain't that good though.
Marcelo Garcia,
Yeah,
right?
all right.
Because he's an East Coast guy too. He's up in New York, and all our guys used to go up there and roll with him too. And his thing was like, look, now you just get really, really good on one side. He's like, and if the shit goes down and you find yourself on the wrong side, what you should learn is to be really, really good at getting to your good side.
Yeah.
So I actually had a conversation with Manny way back when I first started. And I said, hey, I only go one side, but the problem with me is that I drill one side, perform on the other. And it's weird. So if I'm drilling to the right in actual competition, I go to the left. And
How does that work?
I don't know.
That makes sense because
And
everybody's
he looks at me and he goes, I'm the same way. I'm like,
Really?
oh, fucking no answer then.
So okay. So you're talking like the mechanics, boom, boom, boom. You're setting up an arm bar. You're hugging it in tight. You know you're going to spin off to your right. But you drill it as if you're going to go to your left.
I'll drill my good side, but I perform it on my weak side. And it's weird because I'll ask him. I'm like, dude, I don't think this is normal because I don't know what side's my good side anymore.
You ever see that movie Rain Man?
No.
Exactly, 22. Hey, all right, you might be a savant. That's cool.
Fucking weird.
Yeah, actually, that's one thing that happened to us like in wrestling too, because I did MMA for a little bit.
All right.
You stay in fighting stance. I guess in wrestling you have your strongest leg forward. I'm like, no, I want that back. I want to be able to push off a little more, you know. So I use the crap out of a lot of wrestlers back in the day.
Yeah. I guess it's like somebody who's southpaw. If you fight against a traditional, it's like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah,
It throws them off.
you know.
And if you think about it in jiu-jitsu, everybody's on the right side.
For sure.
Everybody's on the right, dude.
Dude, I'm very predictable. I mean, I fight one side. If you can figure that out, man, you might have my number.
Maybe it depends on the moves too. I think with legs you have to do both sides.
Well, yes.
If you like, you know, it's funny. Like I did when I went to that Ryan Hall seminar, bro. I did 50-50 for like 6 months, a year. I did nothing but 50-50. Right. I practiced on this side, and then I started when I was rolling people. I was like, oh, I'm gonna unleash my 50-50. I always ended up on this side. Like, what am I doing, dude? So I had to relearn the whole thing, man. The whole thing, because everybody you end up on this side. It seems like. I don't know why.
But you know what? Different moves, though, I think I end up doing different. Like if I'm gonna hit a heel hook, I catch
Yeah, I was
left
university.
side heel hooks a lot.
Nah, you can go either way.
But if I catch a dragon bite, I can do it from either side.
Dragon bite either way. Yeah.
If I do a straight ankle, I think I'm usually on my right side. I mean,
See,
I
straight ankle
know
can
how
go
to
either
do
way
it
though.
on either side,
It can
but-
go either way because I'll snatch your leg, get this one, get this. I go back and forth and try to.
Preference to it.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're good at it, okay, I like to do this, but you're gonna guide them to where you want them to.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's true.
why I say get them to my strong side
Yeah.
instead of shoring up the weak side. Get really, really damn good
At the one
with your
side.
strong
Even
side.
Audrey actually said it too. Like they were like, "Hey, we're drilling." He's like, "I do really good things to one side. What do you do on this side? We do something different."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what?
You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing he
Complete.
said at one of his seminars one time. I'm like, "Hey, that makes sense."
Because my thing about the load up sweep, I always sweep to my left. Like if I pull a guy on, boom, I'll hit him with that
That's true.
sweep
You know,
to the left.
yeah.
I never sweep to my right.
Because you know what's weird? When I do X guard, like I'll underhook on the right side. When I go this way, I overhook. It's weird. I never underhook you. I don't know why it is, dude.
I don't know.
And I have a set of things that I do on either side. I'm giving up my whole game. I know. It's all right, dude. I'm over.
When I play my X cards, the same thing. I underhook on my left, and I'm pushing off on my right to keep him away. But my stronger side is going the other way. But when in all my matches, if you go back, I go left. But I don't have a problem going right either. It's just preference at that point. Yeah.
So Julio, when you're prepping for a match, right? Obviously, you go to the professor, to the sensei. But what's your mindset?
So luckily, I became really good friends with Manny, and
You gave me food.
That's it. I'm telling you.
so when I'm going up for a match, before I even take it, I ask him, hey, do you think I should take this match? I never take a match just blindsided. I don't just sign up and say, hey, I signed up, we need to get ready. It's like, hey, Manny, I got this coming up. How do you feel about it? So he'll say, hey, take it, don't take it. At the end of the day, he's my sensei.
I'm about to say some legitimate Mr. Miyagi shit. Right?
Yeah, he'll tell me.
That's what's up.
But let's just say he says, go for it.
It's all experience.
I become very selective on who I train with.
Okay.
I know I'm just a blue belt, but it becomes to a point where I'm like, am I going to find any benefit of rolling with you, or is it just gonna? Am I gonna waste a round?
So you get methodical, like you're being really like strategic with the whole thing.
And there's not a night. I've been at Aries for 2.5 years now. There's not a night that I don't roll with Manny.
Oh shit.
I roll with him at least once or twice. I try to get it in, and we go hard. And it's the only person in the gym that I feel comfortable just going balls to the wall.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we've rolled with each other for so long that we know what we're going to do.
Gotcha.
And it makes you think outside the box.
You're not going to get injured. You know, there's that trust there.
No, so-
and it lets you try new things, too.
So when I first started rolling with him, I mean, he still dogs me, but it was like I couldn't find a way out, but I figured out a way to get out of a certain thing. Now it's putting me in a different position. So, like, the rolling style becomes high with him.
Okay.
I'll go back down to lower belts, and I'll start implementing things that he just told me, hey, you need to work on this. I go
Gotcha.
back down, and I start doing it on, like, a newer cat.
Hell yeah.
Not a brand new cat, because I need somebody that's going to be able to move.
They need to at least
Yeah.
understand
the
jiu-jitsu.
movement, but somebody that I know if I really want to, I'm gonna submit you.
Okay.
But I don't go for the submission. I get what I need.
Catch and release.
I let him go.
Hell yeah.
Man, this is
I give him a
like this
position that he thinks he's
I like this
comfortable in.
version.
I get out of it and I repeat. If for whatever reason I'm not able to, let's just say, De La Hiva. Let's just
Okay.
say I can't break him. I go back to Manny and say, hey, this didn't work. And we will stay at the gym from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. working on something
Damn.
until we get it down.
That's dedicated.
See, that, I'm telling you, like, this is cool that we've got the mind of, like, competitors,
Yeah.
right? Because it is a different mindset. It's a
Yeah.
much different mindset than I've ever had.
Yeah.
I competed, like, 2001, 2, 3, shit like that. And then I was like, I'm not really, I'm not feeling the competition. I did a lot of self-defense stuff. I'm like, what I always say, if a motherfucker jumps on me in Walmart parking lot, I'm probably gonna make it home. He's probably not, you know. So, but I don't need to. Like, I just never had that drive or that hunger, dude. Like, I've never done competitive.
I don't think you can
sports.
teach that. You either have
Yeah, I don't
that
think
you either
I
have
can.
that little thing or you don't. You know, it's
Yeah.
funny, but we recognize that in Julio. That's
For
what we saw.
sure, dude.
That's why we took an interest in him.
Yeah, because like I'm telling you, you're a monster.
And the thing
he
is,
was a pain in my ass the whole time he was with us.
Well, you got to have that drive, but then you also have to have like the athleticism and then the ability to learn. So he had those attributes.
He's
If
the
you
perfect storm.
Yeah, yeah. So
You got me cool. you guys got me coleslaw for me.
Yeah, he's
That kid didn't have the athletic attributes, and dude,
he's a purple
monster.
belt from our gym.
Okay, see, but that goes back to the talent versus freaking
yeah.
hard work.
Yeah.
Like, shit, I mean, we're asking. So, do you see guys who will put in hard work outshine the guys who have natural talent?
Yeah,
No,
100%.
all day.
But then how long does that work? Like, because what if you do, I mean, obviously if the natural talent guy also throws in hard work, he'll get it. But like, when's the crossover? Like, this guy, it comes easy. This guy can't even freaking tie his belt. You know what I mean? He's just super uncoordinated, but he's going to come in and listen to whatever the hell you say.
yep.
You can guide him to where he's better.
Now with Cole, actually, that's funny because he started off with somebody else, and the other person used to just destroy him, like everything too. And I remember the other person, again, it came easy. He was athletic, all that stuff, you know. And this guy's like, damn, he's just walking around. It was funny, actually. I tell him the story all the time. But
He's the definition of the nerd assassin.
Awesome.
yeah,
I love
you
it.
see him buy like glasses and everything. But I remember the other person took a break, came back, and this guy was training, put in the work. He would try to compete a little more. And next to this guy started smoking him.
Ah,
Like, I didn't like it.
Nice.
One's still there, and the other one's.
So, and see, the natural talent, that's the other thing. Natural talent, when pressed
Yep.
without perseverance, they'll bail.
Yeah.
If they're not challenged, the shit comes too hard for them, and they're like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
They want it easy.
They'd rather be on top.
Yep.
Everybody has to have some kind of type of adversity, you know.
There
Exactly.
it is. You gotta get challenged. You gotta get fucking get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The shit has to bother you. Okay.
That's what makes us different, I think, than a lot of people, you know, who don't train jiu-jitsu.
For
Because
sure.
you feel pressure every day. You're gonna have somebody on top
All
of
the
you.
time.
Yeah.
It either makes you or breaks you.
We're never comfortable. And if you are comfortable, that means you're not fucking growing. Like if you're comfortable, then you're not progressing anymore because it's like it's gotta have something coming at you to create the new pathways neurologically so that you actually do something better.
Yeah.
It's like in business, they say if you're the smartest guy in the room, find a new room.
Hell damn yeah. Hell damn yeah. Okay. So all right. So there's our competition stuff, right? I mean, did you want to throw anything
You know
else?
what? I want to ask him
competition?
about.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
ask him. No, it can have competition. No, but I want to ask him about the. We're talking about the other thing with the rating the black belts or even a promotion in general.
Oh,
If the guy's like, let's say you
yeah.
got a guy that's older. Let's say you got a 50-year-old guy, right,
Right.
in your school, right?
Yeah.
But he's in a school of a bunch of killers that are 25-year-old, right? So he's a brown belt. Let's say he's a purple belt, right? He wants to get his brown belt, but you got these blue belts that are beating him because they're younger. How do you do that? How do you weigh that in? Do you factor that in like, well, that's just maybe this guy's, 2 decades older than him? Or do you even factor that in? Do you say, I have some schools that are like, he'll never be.
Right. Some people are like, hey, listen.
Oh, some guys are hardcore. They're like,
either
he'll never be a black.
You rise to
hardcore,
you rise
dude.
to
No,
our
that's it.
level or
That's
tough
it.
shit.
They're like the military. Actually,
Yeah.
like
I
the
think
military
the
chief.
whole sink or swim mentality is if everybody has single and they're the same age, all right, this is your group. Who's gonna be the top guy?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna like get comfortable, you're not gonna grow anymore.
For sure.
Yeah. But when it comes to like the whole like age thing, obviously
Yeah.
there's a lot of things to take into consideration. What is the guy's goal? Like everybody is, my old coach would say everybody gets the black belt. Like no matter what, it's a black belt is somebody who just never quit.
That's
That's
how
it.
I feel. Yes.
Yeah.
Whether it takes you, 15 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
you're gonna get it. Just don't quit. That's guaranteed. At the end of it, my perspective too, though, is like obviously it's knowledge based too. At one point, if your body can't perform, what do you know? What can you actually do? Can you guide somebody to be at
Right.
that level? I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of high level black belts out there that probably teach.
Yes,
Teach
it would.
killers like monsters.
Yep. I mean, Danaher is a great example. I mean,
Exactly.
when he got hurt, he's still a monster
Yeah.
up here, and then mentally he can bring you up to a hell of a level.
Oh yeah.
And,
Okay.
like other martial arts was like what boxing, Freddie Roach. Can't
Yeah,
do it anymore.
yeah,
But
exactly.
look at his game plans, when he sees things, people just have a knack for that. They see things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to base it more on their individual performance against themselves. It's not so much that it's like I said, if you have a cohort, if you have a group that all kind of same age, same size, same everything, sure, you start comparing them to
Yeah.
one another.
Exactly.
But if you got one who's a massive outlier and he's like I said, twice their age, he's friggin' got bad knees when he showed up, but he's just like he's trying to lose a couple pounds, and he wants to. What did I say? He was an accountant for his whole life, and he's just like, I just want to learn this jiu-jitsu stuff. I would like to be a better version of me. You're kind of comparing him to himself and his
And
progression.
actually, it's funny. That's a lot of times when it's like that with me. That's the people I actually train with the most sometimes. Because
Okay.
I'm gauging them. I mean, I'm not gonna go crazy on them, but okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
What, you got? What can you do for me? What's your knowledge
see.
based off of that?
Right. So you can basically you bring your level just a little bit above theirs to where you're challenging them still.
Yeah.
You're creating some kind of
And
a
you'd be
response,
surprised,
a
man.
growth
Like,
response.
Yeah.
I always tell people too. He probably hears me out of nowhere. I would just start laughing. I'm like, oh shit! Like they almost got me.
Yeah.
Now I'm in it. I gotta get the hell out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh damn.
But they
so
should be
wait.
proficient.
But-
They still-
okay. So here's a question. This is a question for you. 'Cause I bet you're gonna be. I bet you're closer to my freaking instructor. So, when you're rolling with these guys, and like you said, you're like, hey, I'm gonna give them a little bit, and they go, oh shit, he actually almost got me.
Yeah.
Do you ever let? And I hate saying let, but do you ever roll and if you're saying I'm fighting at this level, my guy's usually a little bit below me, but today he stepped it up a little bit. Do you always fight your way out of it, or do you ever let him catch you?
No, they have it. They have it.
Okay, see,
Okay, that's
dude,
legit.
because some guys, there's some black belts, man. They're like, hell no. They're like, hell no.
Yeah.
There's an instance, man, actually, a long time ago, and some of the guys like that I trained back in the day saw it. Like I put somebody in a position, and the person didn't want to tap. I got slammed. And it scared the shit out of me. I'm like, dude, this is not supposed. This is not okay. Because if it would have been anybody else, a lower belt to a new guy,
Slaps.
Yeah, I was like, bro, it scared the crap out of me. So that's kind of like the mentality that I saw back in the day for old school.
It was old school. That's what I'm saying. Like this was.
Like, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna slam the shit out of you.
It's like I will blow through you if necessary. And like, and I love my instructor to death, man. He's awesome. But I've never,
I've seen some
ever in 22 years ever tap John.
It's like some competitors, right? You see them when they're in a submission. What do? They walk off the stage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
exactly.
get tapped down.
Didn't get tapped. You had to stop. Exactly. It's like, come on, dude. That's ego, though.
Yeah.
That's a freaking massive
It happened
ego.
to me in a training scenario one time. I had this guy in a submission, and freaking he stood up and walked off the mat. I'm like, okay. I let go. I sat down and reached my hand out to high five him and go again. I'm like,
The only way,
I was like, what the hell?
Because you can't control how.
the only
other
way you can
people
top
act.
that is if he like ripped his gi.
Well, I told you,
When
my
people go-
boy who did that too.
Yeah.
He got mad, man. I think he got caught up with like, he was like a purple or a brown, and one belt below was, he kind of had his number that day. He got pissed. He ripped the gi top off, threw it against the freaking wall. I was like, damn, dude,
I mean, it
it's
happens,
not that
but
serious.
There's one guy in the morning I trained with, Stash. I'll give him a shout out right now. He likes to go for like the baseball trips. Like,
Okay.
whatever. So he got it deep enough. I got out a couple of times. And again, it's how far I want to push it.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Really deep. Again, if you don't tap to those, it's gonna happen.
Oh, let's
going
go
out.
quick. Yeah.
He got me. Okay, cool. On to the next thing. Let's
See,
go.
that's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
I am, right?
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's training right there. That's how it's supposed to be.
It's not your growth though, because again, you can close guard on somebody and keep them there the whole time, which is something I used to do as a white belt when I first started.
Yeah, you shut shit down.
And it was
Yeah.
one of the pros that told me like, "That's good, you survived, but what did you learn?
What you did nothing basically.
What did you learn?"
I know, man. I have guys I'll roll with them like, yeah, you didn't pass my guard. I'm like, okay, so we would just stay over
Yeah,
here for
like
5 minutes.
okay, let's just hug.
What do we do?
Right. I mean, if that's the case, why are we rolling? We
Yeah.
can just sit here and stare at each other
Yeah.
for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whoever fucking wins that way.
You
Or
try
if-
stuff, man. That's actually how you show growth. Like if you're just in a place like you said, you're not trying anything, you're not really trying to learn.
Yeah.
You're not gonna grow anymore.
Hell
That's
no.
just stunting your growth.
100%, 100%.
Okay.
Or if you're rolling like 70%, because like that's our kind of our mojo is we go about 70%.
That's
Right?
what I always tell people. I'm like, you shouldn't be going much more than 70 unless, like you said, you're getting ready for competition, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not
There's
even
times
that,
for
but
that.
100% of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're selective who you do it with.
For sure.
Like, he knows as soon as we start, it's like, we're going. He's like, we're going. He ties his hair, and we're going.
And I'm like,
And,
wow.
yeah, and
See, look. So first of all, now I'm embarrassed. Like, I can't even tie my hair anymore. None of
tie my
that
hair.
shit.
I'm
I got
right.
the beard.
a lot, right?
I got the beard. But damn, man, my
with you,
old
man.
flowing locks. I used to have a box and shit. I got none of that.
Kid and play.
Hell yeah. What?
Yo, dude.
It was a high top fade, dude. I used to rock my shit.
He used to see the last time he got like a little hair tag. Put it like, I'm working on it, man.
Little man bun going on and shit.
He was killing me.
All right,
No,
so
I was saying like if you're going 70%, right?
yes, sorry.
But then the guy all of a sudden you catch him in something and you're not really trying, but he leaves the arm out, so you like boop, arm crush maybe. He's like then he goes to 100%.
To
right?
escape.
To escape. Yeah, his escape is 100%. I don't like that.
I always try to tell people not to do that.
Go
because
70% on both sides.
Win or lose, if you get caught, you got caught.
get caught, yeah.
But again, that's humility. That's being able to check your ego and not to go, I still, even though I'm going 70%, I have to win. And if I got to bump it up to 100 just to get out, then I'll go back to
You
70.
gotta win in practice though. Like, what do
Yeah,
you-
well, hello.
What do you win?
You're the fucking king of practice. We said we're actually going to get a crown.
Oh yeah.
We're getting a crown, and we're going to we're going to start giving
Big
people
old
the
with
king
that,
of practice
yeah, that
crowns.
red velvet in the middle and the
Fuck yeah.
gold king of practice.
Get them a
crown.
fucking scepter and shit.
so when I went over to Aries, my first interaction with him was it Saturday?
Yeah, I was sitting on the back.
Yeah, so I show up, and you guys know me. I did a lot of nogi when I was with
Hell
you.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like, hey, blah, blah. I'm Manny Moreno. I introduced myself, and he's like, let's roll. We started rolling, and it was in a gi.
Oh, that was the
And
first mistake.
I had a hard time losing. Fucking hard time.
Yeah, he used to roll hard, dude.
It
Boy, it was
was
a handful, man.
No shit.
so we start rolling, and I look at Manny, and he's like he's my black belt instructor.
Yeah.
He's fucking 5 foot 440 pounds. I'll dog him. And that was my mentality.
Yeah, yeah.
Good times.
He laughed the whole time we were rolling. He wasn't trying to be rude, but
Yeah.
I was going balls to the wall, and then he's like, good roll. I look at him dead in the eye. I said, I'm better in no-gi. Manny takes off his gi and he goes, let's do
That was
no-gi.
after that triangle.
Yeah.
And Steph is in the corner laughing.
Yeah, so I'm like, fuck yeah. This is where I'm at.
Right?
We bump hand, and he does the same exact thing.
Ugh.
Oh man.
Isn't that humbling?
Out of respect, I said, hey, can I get my white belt? Start all over with you? He looks at me, he goes, no.
Hell damn nah. Hell
So
damn
then,
nah.
you know, I started. I'm like, dude, he's 5'4". And I went home. I said,
I know, right?
know.
Shit, what are you talking about?
5'9".
5'9" and a half. Hell
Keep in
yeah.
mind, keep in mind, I didn't know him. So
I mean, I'm also sitting on the floor, man.
Exactly. I'm about to say.
I'm in the car ride home, and I asked my wife, like, "Are we sure we want to be here?" But that was my ego. It was humbling.
Right.
It knocked me down because I was on a high horse when I got there. You know.
For sure.
Yeah.
You were doing really, really good.
Yeah, he was doing well.
And I slowly started picking his brain, and I'm like, "Hey, this is what I want to do." And he says, "Well, first thing we're gonna do is get you out of no-gi stuff. I need you to be in a gi."
Oh.
I'm like, I don't like the fucking gi. I do no-gi.
Boy, I wonder why. I wonder why.
He said. So I only owned one gi, which was the one I used for promotions at Infinite.
Okay.
So I bring my gi in. I'm like, all right, like this is what we're gonna do.
Now he's got showy rolls, I bet.
No, I actually don't like shoulder rolls.
Nah, he said that.
We
Got
start-
a lot more geese now.
Yeah,
Right.
we start rolling, and I'm like, I asked him, I was like, how's this gonna make me better? I want to compete. This is my goal. This is what I want to do. And he goes, trust me. So I'm like, all right, I'll let you take the reign. You have the black belt. I'll respect it. I did. This is going back into competition. I do a couple competitions in Nogi at Arte Suave, and I'm like, dude, these guys they're wrestling based. I'm not a wrestler.
Yep.
I want to sit down and pull guard. Yeah, you know, fuck it, pull guard.
All good.
But I was going up against wrestler guys. Like I knew they were cutting down. These guys were probably 215, going down to 185. I could just feel it. I could feel when we were
Shit, we
exchanging.
just talked about that too.
Yeah, and
Oh, we gotta bring that up too. Don't forget.
I still got the W, but I got the W through submission attempts, being a little more advantageous and active. But I go to him like, dude, these guys are fucking strong. I cannot do anything to these guys. He goes, train the gi. I'm like, all right, I'll train the gi. A few months down the road, he's like, are you gonna compete again? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do my first gi competition.
Gee, okay.
When I went in there, I tell him, and I make fun of myself, is I went in there and I'm like, this is my first gi competition. I don't know shit. I got in my own head. I'm like, I don't know shit. Fuck. I'm trying to take off my slippers. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I'm feeling it. We make the first grip exchange, and I look at him like, fuck. Like, I don't think this is cool.
Nah, you were ready? Come on, you're ready.
It was a grip fighting because I
Right,
won.
right.
You know, it's always you know, he's grabbing me here. What do I do? Oh shit, there's a loop choke there. Oh fuck, he's getting me. Oh, it's going too deep. I don't know what to do anymore.
Okay.
But having him in my corner, you know, he's able to walk me through it, and I'm like, cool, you know. But I haven't been in no-gi attire since.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had his
Really?
like Castro on it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I haven't.
Damn.
That's wild.
Fuck, I own a lot.
I mean, I got a bunch too, but you know, I always buy my shit off of Amazon. I buy $50 white geese, and I can just throw them right in and bleach them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you
no.
fancy now.
Not sure.
No, show you. Not yet.
No, I don't like show roll.
Well, I used to always tell people, especially back in the day in Jersey, I was like, listen, if you do get a show roll gi, it is a proven fact that your jiu-jitsu will be 13% better because you have that gi. I'm just saying, that's their advertisement. 13% increase in jiu-jitsu skill.
Yeah, no. So check this out.
Watching it what?
Check this out. So I wear an A2L.
Okay.
My wife wears a A1. I get new gis.
Dig it?
I'm like, cool. I use them to train. I come back the next day. They're washed.
She got all
Thank
these
you,
new
wife.
geese.
I put them on. They don't fit me.
She got
I
new
guess
geese.
not.
She played you good,
They
dude.
fit her.
She played you good.
What the fuck?
Dryer all the time.
Good, dude.
She knew what she was doing.
Yes, you did.
All my gis, I'm like, I just got this one. And she's like, do the pants fit me?
Oh man.
You can give me new.
Yeah, I
got one
too.
too. I use it. Let's go.
Nice. All right, shit. That's the way to do it then. Now we know. But I can't. I know damn well I can't fit your gi. You're gonna have to get like a bigger one and shrink it down for me.
I think this is my last. Oh no, I have a gi outside. I got one out there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, right.
That's how I place too.
I got a couple.
Oh yeah. Ron had to hang out his gis outside
I was mad
to
when
guide people into the studio. He's like, hey man, just pull up, you'll see the gi. That's how you know you're at the right place. There's a gi out here, turn left. Hell yeah.
Technically should have been a rash guard, but
Nah. Well, yeah, because rash guards you wear, gis you stopped wearing apparently.
that's true.
Yeah, but something interesting that I did realize after training the gi for so long, I will get in no gi sometimes because he's prepping. Like I said, I think I want to say I'm his like number one training partner when it
Nice,
comes to it.
okay.
We're always training together. Once you get the knowledge, the grips translate over.
I agree.
Oh yeah,
And-
gi will translate to no gi, but not the other way around. It doesn't go reverse.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, collar grip, collar tie, wrist control.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all, everything's it's sleep control. Everything's very similar.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that, like, because he would say it's gonna make you better. Now it clicks. The light bulb finally turned on. I'm like, okay, I get it. Jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's gi or
Well,
not.
we always flip it and we go, or it's all submission wrestling when it really comes down to it. But yes, but yeah, you're right. I mean, we talk about this collar tie, right? Like that wrist control, and then what do? I get a grip right under the elbow because you can get that joint and you can lock it in between your fingers, and I can do that gi, no gi. It's the same grip. If I'm same side, boom, do an arm drag past the guy, it's the same shit. So yeah, you're right. But damn, how are your fingers holding up now that you're all gi?
Let me see your hands.
Takes more than I do.
You got the nodules yet? You got to get these, dog.
No.
Yeah, you got to get those, and you did some gi.
So
Future.
right, I'm
That
gonna say
is your
everything's just
future.
gonna be
Both free fingers, bro.
Oh yeah.
damn.
Oh yeah, you got jujitsu hands.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like
That's
my
your
shit
future.
has been so chewed up, and it's just the arthritis and everything's kicking in.
My fingers are all right. It's
But that's why.
Maybe
see,
tape it
that's
now
why.
once
That's
early,
why I
you know?
still love the gi no gi, right? But I do have a question because now I know this is something that you were about to go to, Rod. I don't know if you wanted to do it now or not, but I think it
Go
fits,
ahead,
right?
go ahead.
If you are fighting more gi, right? Are you noticing that a size disparity doesn't matter as much? So there's two thoughts from these Gracie guys. One is old Hickson used to be like 50 pounds up, 50 pounds down. It shouldn't matter if you're both the same belt, 50 pounds up, 50 pounds down. If your jiu-jitsu's good enough, it really shouldn't make much of a difference. Then the other one, the grandkids or whatever the hell,
Was it Henner Gracie?
Henner and Horion,
Yeah.
their thing is Horion, not Horion.
No, it's not Horion.
Henner and
Foreigners. I don't know.
anyway, the younger ones, they're like, for every 10 years, for every 10-year difference, you have pretty much a belt difference, and for every 20-pound difference, they're saying it's a belt difference. So let's say you're a 30-year-old guy and you're a black belt, right? You're fighting a 20-year-old guy who's a blue belt, right? But he is 60 pounds heavier than you, right? So they're saying that 60 pounds would be the equivalent of you losing 3 freaking belt ranks, and that 10 years would be the equivalent of you losing another belt rank.
That's
What
a
are
little
your
aggressive.
thoughts on that? That is aggressive. That's a lot, but I mean,
Gi or no gi?
that's
That's
what we
the
wanted
first
to
thing I
say.
said, yep.
So gi.
Gi, honestly, gi, I think you can be more efficient in your movement. You're able to slow people down a lot more.
Yep.
Obviously, when you do absolute and no gi, you don't have that control anymore.
Yeah.
It's come down to a little more athleticism. You know,
Right.
like, I can anchor on somebody's half guard, I can grab a sleeve, and I can work from there.
Okay.
I've seen this guy take 235.
35.
235 guy.
Oh,
And
bro.
he went up. The guy was a built 235 guy, and I seen Manny. I mean, it didn't look clean,
Right.
but you could tell some of the positions were
So
forced.
this was
but he
in an absolute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. See, so you're talking, and this is what I always said, right? Black belt versus black belt. That 50 pounds doesn't make that was way more than 50 pounds.
that's a lot.
That was way more than 50 pounds,
Yeah,
but
that's a
like
lot.
50 pounds, like that's I like that Hickson thing where they're going
In a gi, it's doable.
50 pounds. Yeah,
It's more
in a
manageable.
gi 50 pounds, you should be able to handle that.
And I think it also goes down to rule set because I had a fight to win probably about a month and a half ago, and
Was it gi? I don't remember.
it was a gi match. It was the only match that Manny wasn't there to coach me because he was actually out in LA.
Yeah.
He was competing in Anaheim, and
Okay.
that was my mistake. I fumbled the ball in that one. I signed up. I didn't know he was going to be competing. It totally slipped my mind, or I wouldn't have taken it.
I went through like 3 different opponents.
Yeah, I had
Oh, shit.
two blue belts pull out, and then the third one was purple belt. We had a purple belt at 185. Who knows if he was 185? I can't say.
Right.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, he looked 85.
Yeah, he looked pretty big, dude.
But it was
It
it was one of the Manny's been there for all my matches, and we can jump on that afterwards. But I had somebody completely different in my corner, a whole different venue. It was propped up on stage, a
Right.
little more, a little more fancy.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like I was controlling him. I felt like my jiu-jitsu was, in a jiu-jitsu aspect, I was dominating him. In a
Okay.
rule set aspect, I lost.
Yeah.
and I had a very difficult time accepting that he beat me because of the rule set.
Okay.
Now, there was probably, I want to say, at least 15 pounds. I think he was rehydrated. I want to say he was
Right.
rehydrated. I can't say, but
Yeah.
I can feel that because we were so tight on the belt. He's a purple, I'm a blue. Who knows how long he's been doing it? But the knowledge wasn't the same. Obviously, he has probably 7-8 years of knowledge.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be fair, I have 3.5. I can feel every single pound. I was like, oh shit, like. Usually, I'm not in a position where I'm like, oh fuck, he's gonna get me.
Right.
But this time, I was like, I was fighting a battle within myself. I'm like, he's stronger, he's heavier, he's like 6'4".
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got my shit slammed.
Yeah.
My coach is in here. I'm fucking bleeding. Like, I had no more answer, and I resorted to what I knew.
Okay,
He stalled me. He stalled me out, but. I think if we talk about black and black belt, obviously I'm not a black belt, but watching Manny compete often with heavier opponents, I think because there's so many tools, he can adapt to that weight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I think you're right about that. I do
And
believe you're
being
right.
a younger belt, I'm like one road, and that's the way to go.
Exactly.
And if this doesn't work, I'm
Right.
going to keep
Exactly.
spamming it until
Your
it happens.
tool belt's not as heavy
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
You're right.
so-
Okay.
There's a big disparity between purple and blue. in my
Oh, for
opinion.
sure.
Yeah.
For
Right.
sure. I mean, purple belt's that's the growth belt. That's
Yeah.
the one where you're really coming into your own game. You're out there testing all kinds of new tools and shit.
Like-
you're like, hey, I saw this shit on YouTube.
But
I would
will-
think that everything you did, he would already know what you were gonna do. You know what I mean? He
But
had
I will
answer for
say,
it.
I got off the mat a little mad.
Okay.
He. Let's just be honest. I got a little emotional. It was one of my first losses without him there, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I try to find every reason why I lost.
Okay.
The night of, I was fucking salty. The morning after I was salty, I gave him a call, and he's like, it fucking happens, whatever.
Okay.
I get back to the gym, and I think I saw my biggest growth. I said, just because you're taller than me, you're heavier than me, doesn't mean you're gonna get me. And I started pushing it. And I don't mean being fucking hard, being rough. I'm like, Manny, this is what I got caught on. I need you to fix it. If it's not fixed, help me fix it.
There you go.
That's good, dude.
So again, like that's what I said. The way you're coming very methodically at this,
Yeah.
and like that's going to get you really great results. Nice.
And you have big guys like do you ever go with like Captain Dam? Like he's a big dude, you know. He's tall.
I
Yeah.
enjoy it, man.
Honestly,
Just get ready for worm guard,
I was
right?
going to say try to tie you up in a worm
Yeah,
guard.
worm guard.
so like my roles, I don't know if the black belts are letting me fucking work, right? I don't ask. I just do what I do.
Do you? Yeah.
But my roles in the gym are very. I roll like this guy. Like I try to play the little man game. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm trying to be very technical, and sometimes I do get caught in things because I'm working things. I go in there with the game plan. Every single day is like, hey, I'm working on this, and I will work on that. Before I used to say I'm gonna go in there, I'm not gonna get tapped.
Right. I got you.
But with Manny kind of changed that mindset, and I think that's like I think that's the biggest thing about having a coach that competes.
Yeah.
Is that he understands.
I will agree. So and that's
It's fundamental to growth.
that's huge because again, I can only coach you so much because I don't compete, right?
Yeah.
I can show you a whole bunch of cool shit. I can show you, hey, some shit that's totally illegal if you get into a street fight. I mean, yeah, cool. I can show you all that.
But that goes back to what you were saying earlier. What are you learning jiu-jitsu for?
Yes.
I'm not gonna fucking do De La Hiva in the streets.
No.
Someone's gonna fucking pop me in my jaw.
Yeah.
That's it.
But-
But I say when in doubt, punch him in the throat, right? You get that freaking boom.
But that's when you walk
Rules
in.
in the streets.
That's when you walk in and you say,
Who else?
what do I want jiu-jitsu to do for me?
Okay.
Right? I think for me, the last 3 years have been like, what do I want jiu-jitsu to do for me before I ask myself, what can I do for jiu-jitsu? I think once you're a black belt, you can start saying that, what can I do for jiu-jitsu? But going in there, like, I'm like, okay, I'm an athlete to a certain extent because I don't get paid for this shit.
I feel you.
I do this shit to get better for myself.
Yeah.
I'm highly competitive with myself. So going in there, I know what I want. If I wanted a self-defense, I'll take a self-defense class. It'll be
Right.
more like mount, blocking punches, fight
Hell
karate. But there's always a game plan. I think that's where it separates the competitor with the hobbyist.
Yeah.
And that's the big divide. is
Agreed.
I don't go in there like, I'm just gonna fucking come in. I'm coming in with a purpose.
Coming in, you got a game plan. Nice.
Would you say most of your competitors are like that? Do they? Yeah, that's actually interesting. Most of your competitors, are they chill when they roll, or are they like competition mode, or do they have that maturity?
Competitors as in the gym or what?
In your school, most of the guys that compete on a regular basis, because I'm thinking the hobbyists might be the ones that go all aggro because they don't really compete.
So that's when we go back to being selective. You know, I know there's guys in there that will avoid rolling with me, especially if they know it's a comp week, and it's not because they're afraid of me,
right?
But because they're not trying to take a high-paced, or they feel like they're not going to be beneficial, which is a lie that they tell themselves. They're like, I can't help you. I don't know anything.
Gotcha.
I think you learn from everybody, man.
I agree.
Yeah, and we get that sometimes. I'm sometimes like, dude, I just want to roll. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not, you know, if I want to get killed, I'll go with Manny. I'm just trying to roll, dude.
Or
like,
Jimmy.
Or Jimmy.
Yeah, dude. So that's the other one. I gotta come out there and I gotta meet this guy. He actually, the big dude, Jimmy. He knows one of my boys that I work with, and he's like, oh yeah, he's out there, blah blah blah, and he sent me a picture, and I'm like, oh shit. This is the guy I saw.
Jimmy Norman.
Holy shit. I'm like, all right.
Jimmy's very old school.
Really old school.
So when I walked into when I walked into the school, you know, I see this huge dude. He's probably like 6'6".
Yeah.
Holy crap.
He's wearing a black belt.
Is that Filipino?
I think I was rolling for about 2 weeks.
Biggest half Filipino ever.
Yeah.
I was rolling about 2 weeks, and you know I was still catching some of the blue belts there. Still being very egocentric, and you can tell I would walk up like every other fucking guy, chest out.
Hell yeah. Thinking you're like Ric Flair and shit.
Yeah. And I go and I go to shake Jimmy's hand. He looks at me. And he goes, "Don't fucking talk to me."
Oh my.
And I'm like,
Jimmy's delivery is like,
that's hardcore, dude.
It's just funny, man.
so you know, I'm like, all right, whatever. We start doing our thing. He's the only one left to roll with every other partner, so I go up to him and he goes, "Don't you ever
He's old school, dude.
fucking come up to me and ask me to roll." He goes, and as a matter of fact, when I walk in the gym, don't look at me.
Oh my god, that's ruthless. Oh man,
We laugh about it now, and I'm like, cool.
I'm like laughing in the background and just saying,
So
Yeah, I know, right?
I know Jimmy.
It's like an initiation.
I thought he was playing around. I go the next day, and he fucking under my knees, like, and looking for somebody to roll. I'm standing there. He's like, nope.
Just look right past you.
Yeah. And I started competing, fucking getting banged up, going out there with fractured ribs, busted toes. I mean, going balls to the wall, competing. He comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, Castro." That's what they call me. They're like, "Castro." I'm like, what? He goes, "Got my respect." He
That's
goes,
cool.
he goes, "Now you're a blue belt." And I'm like, "What do you mean I've been a blue belt?" He goes, "No, you've developed the mentality for a blue belt." He goes, "You weren't a blue belt then, you were a 5-stripe white belt." He goes, "You had the belt color, but you didn't have the mentality for it." I'm
That's
like,
legit.
All right.
Jimmy's scary, dude.
yeah, he's
Yeah, he's a big dude. That's what I said. I'm like, damn. All right.
Every school has their Jimmy,
I
right?
know, right? I'm
There's
saying
always
like friggin' like the Madden Forcer.
Yeah, there is,
I think
man.
for me, there's only one Jimmy. You can attest to that too. Man.
Nice. Yeah. What's the next thing we got on him?
I think that's all I had, dude.
Yeah. All right.
That's all I
Because so we covered the competition mentality.
Yep.
We covered getting them belted, the older guys.
Belting older guys.
Talked about we touched on your fight to win. So yeah, that's cool.
We did touch on the disparity between like the weight and the.
Yep, the weight
Okay, so what do you
disparity.
think? Wait, we didn't get a definitive answer though.
Well, no, he said. I mean, in a gi, you should be able to slow it down, and he gave.
Okay, so what about no gi, man? I want to get his opinion. What is here? No gi. Would you say? Because 20 pounds to me is ridiculous. You should be able to handle 20 pounds, in my opinion. That's nothing. But 50 pounds, I would say you can't feel that. You will feel 50 pounds, in my opinion.
100%.
So, what do you think is like? Would you say that takes away a belt? Do you even subscribe to that line of thinking, or like the guy's a decade older? How do you kind of?
Honestly, for me personally, it just depends on like who you're going against. You know, it is like if you're getting like the guy who does jiu-jitsu, just never competes, something like that, you get him out there. Or like, I mean, honestly, comparison back to this. Me, I competed against JT Torres.
Right.
I was still
Yeah.
kind of like working a
Nice.
little bit, all this stuff, and he took shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie, it was
Dude.
bad. But you think about it, you get somebody who does this full time or someone who does it half.
Oh yeah.
That also comes into consideration.
That's
on the
true.
Sides too, you know. Like if I think I got my shit together, you get somebody who just like I compete once a year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I have a day job, whatever. I think I do pretty well against them. No,
Okay, and that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
There's a lot of factors to consider.
Yeah, there is a lot. It's so individualized. And plus, one guy's a 150-year-old guy could be in the shape of a 30-year-old guy, and vice versa. You could have a 40-year-old guy who's like a 60-year-old dude, right?
I think
so you can't just say
I think when
a decade.
when they do those comparisons, they're saying all things being equal except for this 50-pound difference. However much time you train, he trains. Whatever belt you are, he is.
Oh, I see.
Now maybe your game is different. Your fight game is this. His fight game is this. But the only difference is he outweighs you by 50 pounds. And to that, I think with gi, I do believe that's neutralized.
Yes.
You can feel it. Look, you can
Yeah.
feel if a motherfucker's heavier than you and they're like putting pressure. But if your game, because you're a smaller guy, is to always escape under him, to
Yep.
always get behind
Back
him, to always
taking all
put
that.
gas-
It was
Yeah.
one of the Metamoris, right? I guess Henry's brother had to take a last minute match against Gaval. And he survived.
Yeah,
And he didn't get tapped
exactly.
out.
And
it
Gaval's
was in the gi.
way bigger.
And it was in the gi.
Way freaking bigger. Because those grips let you slow shit down. I mean, that's what I do love about the gi.
You become
But
more
then-
efficient.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's like sometimes you can get really lazy in the gi because if you really get good at slowing people down, you're like, dude, I am safe. Like it's like training wheels. You're like, there's nothing he can do. I can go like this, pinch my shit in. I'm safe. Like he can't do shit.
I think it depends too what game you play because Manny likes to play off his back a lot of times, and
Okay.
I play off my back a lot too. So I don't have that chance to just kind of chill. It's funny and it's ironic because we compete in submission only events, right? But playing off your back is not like
Yeah,
That can be dangerous.
it's unusual. Yeah.
it is unusual, but it's he's a reactive player. I'm a reactive player. It kind of goes like hand in hand. When we roll, it's awkward because we're like,
You both want to go to your back.
who's gonna go first?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, fuck, let's see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think that's a big factor too. Like
Yeah,
the
for
games,
sure.
The games that you play.
See, my thing is go to your back, kind of relax, let him move around. As soon as he's off balance, I hit him with a sweep, and then I just
And then,
finish from there.
touch bases on like the weight thing. I did an AGF. How long ago was it? About 3-4 months ago, and I had a lot of these guys rehydrate. A lot of guys do weight cut. I weight cut myself, but I weight cut like 5 pounds.
Gotcha.
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a lot of crazy things.
I'm off
but-
season right now.
Yeah, but I think another big weight that we often overlook is the mentality. I can see my guy. We both come up. We're waiting for the ref to call us in. I can see him looking at me. He's looking at me, and I can he's sizing me up.
Right.
And I'm looking at Manny, and I'm like, whatever. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, I've been through worse.
But
It's not Jimmy. It's not Jimmy.
Exactly.
we go in there and we fist bump, and as soon as his grip grabs my collar, he starts shaking like mad, man. I can tell he's nervous. And in a calm state of mind, maybe at his home gym, maybe he dogs me.
Right.
But I can see his movement became very stiff.
He wasn't ready for the big show.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm super relaxed. Manny's like, keep top pressure. I'm listening to Manny. I'm looking at Manny. We're having dialogue back and forth. He's like, knee cut now. I need cut now. I look back. He's like, I need you. And we're having a conversation. People laugh. But I talk to him during my matches. He goes, I need you to pull and go for it now. I pull, I jump, get an armbar, submit him in 30 seconds.
That's nice, dude.
And I see that also. You know what? Your competitors, they're like forged in fire. That's way hotter because you don't know who the hell you're going against, right? You get comfortable in your home gym. You're like, hey, I know this is Bob and this is Mike and this is Jill and this is Jane, and you're like, all right, cool. But then it's like, hey, this is fucking Killer Chuck Jones that I've never met before, and you're like, oh shit, right? and then you're like, this is real. Yeah, exactly, right?
So I was on the receiving end. I did an IBJ in Sacramento.
Okay.
So I've been competing 2.5 years under Manny. I've never been submitted. I've lost by points, but because I play off my back, right? A lot of the times I'm not getting those points. I'm a submission.
Dig it.
I like to chase the submission. I get past my first match. I get position. It's 17-0. Last minute, all of a sudden, it's like 2-17, 5-17, 7-17, 9-17, 15-17. It ended up being 16-17. I take the win by points. I get into I go out. I'm kind of rehydrating. They call me back in. I tell Manny, I'm done.
I'm too tired
I'm too
now.
fucking tired. I look at my opponent, and he's probably 19, 20. He's jumping up and
man,
down.
he's like ready to
Listen,
go. Yeah, he's like, let's go.
I fucking turn over. I'm like, Oh, fuck. Manny's like, I need you to get up. I'm like, I can't fucking get up. My legs are done. Don't show it.
Don't let him see.
I keep looking at this kid. And I'm like, fuck. Like, he just had a match. And he's, fuck. I'm 30.
Ready to go.
I'm 30 years old. I got family. I got
Yeah, right. I got bills to pay.
I got a job to go to.
I got a baby on the way. We go in there, and again, I defeated myself before even going in there. He grabs me, he single legs me. I go De La Hiva, he passes, takes my back, a position that I'm not used to. I haven't been submitted.
Right.
Fucking locks my right hand down, locks my left hand
Oh, that
down,
sucks.
wraps around my body, and strangles me. I get up, and I'm like, this is new. This is a new fucking feeling. I look at Manny. I can tell Manny's like, don't be a bitch. I get up, I'm like, fuck.
That's it. Just
What he said? He said it in Spanish, so there's nobody here. Yeah. How you say it?
Hey, you guys,
You're still human, man.
And then I had a Chishino. He was outside. And we were just talking about it. He asked me what happened, and then he asked me, "Did you prepare for this?" And I said, "No, I didn't prepare." He's like, "I'm gonna give you a tip. Next time, don't waste your money."
Oof.
And I was like,
That's tough love, huh?
Yeah, that's really tough love.
He's
Shit.
the nicest guy ever.
Yeah, he's a nice
He's the
guy.
nicest guy.
But
But he'll let you know.
because-
He'll let you know.
Yeah, that's
But
fucking
because
gangster.
Manny had mentioned me, kind of, he's like, like this guy likes to compete. He put me in that category. Like, if you're gonna take it serious, take it 100% serious. Don't
I met
half-ass
Kevin
it.
too. So.
Yeah, then,
They say don't half-ass it, whole-ass it.
The only kind of ass I like is
Hell yeah, whole ass. All right, good shit. So I gotta ask. So what is on the horizons for you, Manny? What's the plan, man?
I think I have an event in July, so I'm gonna recover for a while. Because after that ankle injury, it's funny because I actually fought at Pan Am's. I took like a couple matches here and there. I was actually supposed to go against Jamil Hill at one of the local shows, Archer Suave.
Oh, nice.
But my ankle was not gonna.
Nah, wasn't gonna hold up.
But it's funny because Anaheim was actually like on my birthday. I got asked, "Hey, bro, can you take a match this weekend?" Like, all right, let's get it. And even in my buddy's wife was like pissed at him, like, "Why the hell are you asking for this match? This and that." It's funny because it was my birthday. I went to all you can barbecues.
Hell yeah.
I went up to like 173. I was like, fucking off season, right? I don't get to do anything.
Damn.
I had to be 160.
Oh.
I made it. I'm like, yeah, 3 days, man. Let's go. Damn.
What do you normally weigh? Like just cruising around, like normal? 165. Okay.
I used to compete at 141s actually back in the day.
Okay.
154s. I started competing in a lot of the 170s when I was 150.
Damn.
So I had a match actually. I fought at 150 for gi,
Dig it.
and I took a match at Nogi 170.
That
Same day.
actually makes sense. That. Oh my God.
Same day. Same day. And it's funny because I was like, okay, let me just get my match. I still had to make weight too. I was
Right,
like,
right. I'm about to say,
I
damn.
did it as a favor to make sure the card was going. And that's
crazy.
Still had to make weight.
Had to go run up and eat a bunch of pasta and shit.
And then after that, they were like, hey, bro, you want to fight for a 170 title? Like, I guess. Like, all good because I already told the guy you're gonna do it. Like, fuck, man. Like,
Nice. See, so they know you're the go-to guy, basically.
I told,
It's
I
like,
told this guy that, man, if I'm fighting, because I just took a match at 180 not that long ago. It didn't go my way, unfortunately, but whatever. But I took it at 180. I'm like, bro, if I'm fighting 180s next year, I'm kicking your ass. I told him that. Yeah, 'cause I went for like 141s, 150s,
Yeah, yeah.
170s. I'm like, bro,
that's some big jumps, dude. Those
It
are
is.
big jumps.
5'6" and a half.
What do you
said
feel best
5'9".
at?
I thought it was 5'9" and a half. 5'9"
What
and a half.
weight do you feel best at?
Honestly, right now, because again, getting older, 160. So I've competed at lightweight. That's when I fought JT Torres.
Okay.
I can still make featherweight, but it just depends on the preparation.
Damn.
The last time when I competed against JT Torres, it was funny because like the whole preparation, I had zero preparation. I was like,
Just
I'm
showed
gonna
up.
be in Vegas. I went up 168. This has
Hell
some
yeah.
fun. Fourth round, I was like, God damn it.
It's like, this is not the party I signed up
He told
for.
me that too. Like, man, imagine you would have prepared. Like, I know.
Well, yeah, because we have a habit of, like, if we're off season, we're off season.
Dig it.
We're not.
Just chilling.
Yeah, we're at Jalisco Grill eating.
Hell yeah.
Beers on the weekends with most of
Ooh,
the
Damn right.
You know, we're
This guy can cook.
we're just eating. We're off. Like, as committed as we are to when we compete, we're committed to getting.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you got to.
Man, you know,
Yeah, I say, you work hard, you play hard.
Yeah.
Agreed. Nice. All right, Rob, what else you got? Oh well, actually, I guess we got to ask you too. Your plan, because you're a little dinged up, right? But you're
Yeah, so I just had to pull out of a 185 blue belt title match, and I tried my best to get out there.
Dig it.
When he took me to the ER for my ribs,
I'm like the worst person to take.
doctor comes out and he's sitting next to me, and the doctor's like, hey, you know, you got fractured ribs, you gotta take it slow, and I'm like, hey, I gotta ask you something. Is fractured the same thing as broken?
Yeah,
And he said, ultimately, yeah. And I was like,
it will break.
Did you just try rubbing some Vicks on that shit?
Bro.
Hell yeah.
this is the first time I've been off the mat. I've been off the mat for about a week. Going from training 8 to 10 times a week.
You're actually listening this time too.
So yeah, to not training at all has been rough. But if I can get,
Man, ribs take a while.
yeah,
too.
if
That's a bad one.
I can get healthy by, so this just happened last week.
And there's nothing you can do to speed it up.
I-
Man. They just like.
Yeah, wait it out.
I
Yeah.
calculated by July 7th I can be back on the mat if I'm good. By July 7th, July 13th I'll be trying to take that title match.
Nice.
That's solid,
So-
man.
See, that's good. Like I said, you're being very methodical with everything. So why not be methodical with how you heal as well?
Yeah.
Finally.
That's good shit. Finally,
but
he's finally
even-
listening.
Even then, though, I still show up like everybody else. I'll
There you
show
go.
up. I sit on the couch.
Watch training.
I study a lot. I actually record Manny a lot. I know
Okay.
It's kind of weird, but I study his tape and I watch it.
He's like, I didn't know about that.
It's funny because even if he's not there, like, we're recording.
Right. What the hell's happening over
Hey,
here?
what do you do here? What the
Oh my god.
Well, so my logic behind it is because I'm so young in jiu-jitsu, you know, I'm under 4 years, I try not to pick from a lot of different people. Because that was my first year. I was playing rubber guard at
I remember
Infinite.
that.
And I mean,
I
yeah,
said that's not sustainable.
you're only gonna learn so much.
It's not.
Yeah.
But I
Just got a
don't,
couple years doing that.
I don't want to have a shaky foundation. I want to
Yeah.
make my foundation
That's too
solid.
niche just to
Yep.
learn.
That way I
man.
can go back to who I learned it from, and we can troubleshoot.
Nice.
Later down the road at black belt, if I get to black belt, or when I get to black belt, I can go back and start all over and start doing something different. You know,
Hell yeah.
start exploring. But I'll be watching, and I still mop, even though I'm not rolling. I will mop.
There you
mats.
go. Exactly. That's
There-
good.
There is knowledge in mopping. Believe it or not.
What about teaching? Can you teach at all? And I don't know how you do it at your school. Being a blue belt, like even
I
like
was
some
helping
very
with the kids.
kids class and stuff. Yeah.
But
There's Terry.
yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot,
No,
so maybe
it's a lot
don't
of
worry about
work.
it.
It's a lot of work. Manny's our instructor for the teachers. I mean, he's our main instructor for everything. But honestly, I stick to this guy like glue.
There you go.
I go in there sometimes, even when I'm helping the kids, you're still learning because he's giving little details that he might not give to adults,
Absolutely.
but he has to over-explain with these little kids, and you're like, oh.
Be a Uki.
You gotta really break it
Well,
down.
I'm
He usually fills the positions a lot.
yeah, I'm Mizuki there.
Just
but-
no neon bellies. That's all.
Now.
Not right now, yeah.
I still want to do that one time.
He's like, suck it up, be quick.
Shit gets weird when I'm
we have a sister school too, and he was actually really good about a lot of the new guys. Hey, I'll work with them. He pulled them aside and stuff like that too.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah.
He's definitely doing that. You know? He's paying it forward.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Which is actually a really good thing as well.
Good shit. All right, well, listen, I mean, you guys, I'm super happy that you came out. Like, I'm not going to eat up all your time. We're not going to eat up all your time.
Yeah.
But I will say, I mean, I'm super impressed. I'm glad that you were becoming the jiu-jitsu fighter that you're becoming.
Actually wearing a gi.
Yeah, right? You're wearing a gi.
Hey, the wrist lock still coming though.
The wrist lock, you still get them? All right, okay. Then I did my part.
That's
I'm
still
happy.
like a dirty move, though.
It's not a it's a legitimate
I know
move.
it is, I know.
I've had brown belts and black belts complain when I wrist lock them. I'm like, hey, man, if you can't handle a wrist lock at black belt, might I consider like handing you this blue belt or no, this white belt back,
Yeah.
right? Because a blue belt can get wrist locked.
Well,
So it's
hard.
But you know, it's funny. Back in the day, if you leg lock somebody, it
yeah,
doesn't count.
that was
Yeah,
always,
he didn't
they're
get me.
like, oh,
He
you're
leg
a
locked me. It
bro.
doesn't really
Shit,
count.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's kind of gone now,
yeah,
right?
man, come on, just fucking get better.
That's jiu-jitsu now.
How about that?
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's
Leg
evolved in it, yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
Just
what,
fucking
somebody
get
made a
better.
meme one time, like, why would you ignore 50% of the body?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Exactly.
this man wanted to have a picture of Danaher. Like, look at wife now, damn.
Shit. But no, you guys are killing it, man. We appreciate it. It's like, this is obviously important and you guys are making it happen. And what I always say, right? It's like, if it's important to you, you will find a way. And if it's not, you'll find an excuse. I mean, hell, you're dinged up, but you're still showing up. You're still finding that way to do it. Manny, give a shout out to your school again, man. Like, where can they find you?
We're located off Fairway Drive, guys, next to the Platinum Wine Lounge on Fairway. Aries BJJ. Come out and visit us whenever you guys want. Doors
Oh,
are
yeah.
always open.
Nice. You guys have an open mat, right? What days are you open?
Open mat tomorrow at 11. Saturday classes, guys, are really getting bigger now, so come out.
Nice.
Okay, so Sunday open mats.
All right.
Cool.
You got anything else you want to shout out, like Instagram or anything like that? Do you have anything else?
I'll say if you got it, you tell us.
Cool.
If we find
We'll
it,
throw-
And also, just real quick, Happy Mother's Day. Just saying.
Oh, there you go.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. For
To all those fathers that don't do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, right. If you're a father, you don't do jujitsu. Well, happy Mother's Day to you.
No, but we'll throw it in the comments below. We'll throw the school
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that stuff. You know how to find, how
Hell
to
yeah,
contact
dude,
them and
for
all
sure.
that. Yeah. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Manny. We appreciate you coming out. Yeah, really. Yep. And Julio, it's really good to see you again, man. I'm really glad that it worked out over there. That's great, man. That's like the full evolution of Julio, man.
sure,
My
dude.
God, dude.
We hand delivered them like
Yeah, we like a little baby, man.
I
Little
was
baby.
saying- I was about to
Here
say,
you go,
like,
man.
it's like we took this little baby and left it on the firehouse steps.
We just, you know, when they abandoned the dog, we just like let her
Exactly.
ran. No,
Put them in a basket, send them down the Ganges
No,
River.
but I appreciate it. Though. You guys were like, hey, he wants to compete. We're gonna send you the right way. And I'm
Facts.
You know, at the end of the day,
Dude, we did it because
Infinite,
we
you
did.
guys-
we like you, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna point you in the right fucking direction.
At the end of the day, Infinite's at the beginning still part of my living.
Damn right.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
Damn right.
It's all good, dude.
And we're still here, dude. We're not that far away. You can always come visit.
Yep.
And I guess vice versa, right? We do need to get
For
out
sure,
there.
we should. It's been a
Guys,
minute,
come
dude.
on up. I got you.
You know, it's funny. Like I've been to
Yeah.
areas a few times. I've never seen Manny though. It's the weirdest thing. Like I always see the other Julio. But
Yeah.
that's why to me
You're
it's
right.
like it's weird. I've never run across Manny. And like I've been training for 13 years. But I always hear about him. Like
Look behind the counter, sometimes you can't see him.
Oh,
he got that ninja. Manny's got that ninja thing. He probably run up and just choke me out. I was
Yeah,
like,
man, like the first time when he came in with his family, I'm like, I'm gonna have back here. Like, I tried to open up a beer, like I'm under new customers. I'm not.
who is this guy?
watch him
2
walk
weeks
in.
later, though, on the mats.
Yeah, so before
Not
we
even
close
that.
it out, you know, man, he's like, he's looking at me. He goes, "Hey, you drink?" And I'm like,
Oh man, we
sometimes, and he's like, all right. So I'm rolling with my wife, and he goes, here, drink this. And I was like, he goes, you're welcome. And walks away. I was like, okay, we're homies now.
That's awesome, dude.
That's what's up. I'm telling you, jiu-jitsu creates bonds,
It really
man.
does, it
We
really
create
does.
bonds. Rod, finish
I
this
was
up.
take this away, man. So thanks you guys for watching. If you liked the video, man, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it. Check out Aries BJJ. And on that note, man, we will check you guys out next week. Us.
Us. Thank you very much. Man,
But one time, we're actually hella drunk actually for one of the episodes. For some reason, like, Kelsey, what the fuck does a giraffe sound like? I don't know.
Did it work out?
So you did it work out?
Oh, God.
all right, shit, go ahead, Rod.
Okay, you guys ready?
Beautiful.
All right, ready?
After him, and I wore one for a little bit because he
Yeah.
double the shit out of me.
Yeah, dude, I'm saying. I like my fucking teeth.
Oh,
so.
you can chip my teeth, man. We talked about that for a little bit. Like, goddamn.
All
Ready
right.
for that event, dude. Like, wow.
You don't want to lose a tooth. Not tooth.
Hell nah,
Tooth.
man. I told you, did I say before, you have to fucking stick a chiclet up in that motherfucker.
Like, what, Dennis the Menace?